excited to be welcoming Tash. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good and yourself?
I'm doing all right, thank you. Doing all right. Yeah, it's still a little bit chilly here in London. A little bit cold
Yeah,
last
it's
week,
so
but
cold in Germany. It's ridiculous.
yeah. What temperature are you at?
Oh, I don't know. Like we were in the minus, like
Oh, really?
-4 or something like that.
Okay, proper
I
cold.
was like, okay. Yeah.
So where are you in Germany?
In Bavaria, in
Okay,
that area, basically. Like, I don't know if Munich is like 2 hours away
okay,
from where I live.
cool. I've passed through Munich once, a long
Just
time
past.
ago. Yeah, just passed through. Where I was there for a night. I was on the way to Ljubljana, and we got the
Mhm.
train. I think is that right? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Would you
yeah,
be able to
yeah.
do that? Yeah.
Makes sense.
Like just thinking back now, is that where I was? So yeah, we were only there for a night. So I was there with I used to work in an LGBT youth charity in Scotland, and we were
Okay. Oh,
doing like a kind of like an exchange project with this new LGBT youth group in Ljubljana. Um, yeah, so it's cool. Many years ago, but yeah, we passed through Munich on the way there, which is very exciting. It was great.
that's awesome.
So what's so you're in Munich or nearby?
No, I'm like in the countryside.
Okay. What can you
Like,
describe? What can you see in your local area? Is it? I'm imagining lots
uh,
of forests, but I don't know. Is that
no, it's more like farms.
farms? Okay.
Yeah, crops and stuff. Regensburg, does that ring a
Okay.
bell?
Not totally, but
Um,
this is really good.
somewhere over there.
Somewhere over there. Okay, we can all
Yeah.
get in Google and find out exactly.
Exactly.
Great. And how's your day been today? What you been up to?
Oh, I'm off today, so it's been good. I've just been in the studio working on some stuff.
Cool.
So,
Great.
yeah.
So you've got your own studio as well, which is something I wanted to kind of chat to you about anyway. But yeah, so is that
Yeah.
all that's in your house then?
It's in my home, yeah. It's just a baby studio right now,
Okay.
but I am planning on expanding it and once I've got the money for it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But I
Doesn't come
definitely
cheap.
have plans for it.
Ah, amazing. That's really exciting. Well, yeah, we'll chat a little bit about that as well. But before we even get into just finding out a little bit about you, Leona Lewis, I just saw today or whatever that was. She liked your video. That's so cool.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Yeah,
I I did the
congratulations.
video. It wasn't even my best work, because I had to do it like really really low because it was like 2 a.m. or something. So I
Yeah,
was like, okay.
that's so cool. There you go.
Yeah,
Fan in Leona Lewis. I love Leona Lewis. She's great.
me
I
too.
I remember watching that series of whatever it was. Was it X Factor? I think she was on. It's how she kind of
Yeah.
came to be in the UK. But
Hmm.
yeah, she was like the moment where it was like the height of that sort of TV program, and like she was like the star, you know.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, but she's done loads of cool stuff since then. But yeah,
So you saw it from start to finish?
start to finish, yeah, that was back in the day when I used to kind of watch that show.
Back in the day.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Good to know she's still got some good music taste as well. There you
Right?
go. So apart from having Lona Lewis as a fan, can you tell us a little bit about your kind of musical journey to get to where you are at the moment?
Ah, yes, I can. I mean, I started young. I started with watching Disney films and
Great.
Anastasia and Swan Princess, and I just loved the music. And I would always sing to it, and I would always sing in the shower. Um, and my first performance was in elementary school. It's a karaoke, and it was Britney Spears' "Lucky."
Great.
So
Excellent first karaoke song. Yeah. Okay.
exactly, and I that was the first time I had the taste of singing in front of people. I mean, it was quite empty actually. It was a really empty gym. That's why I did it. But whatever.
Got to start somewhere,
And
right?
Yeah, exactly. Got to start somewhere. And yeah, after that, I just kind of just sang to myself, really.
Mhm.
And it wasn't until high school where I did performances like what was that called? What was that stuff in high school where you did a performance showcase,
Like showcases. Okay, yeah.
talent show? Yeah.
Okay, talent shows.
So that's where I started. I did musicals as well in Germany. I did like a musical that was
Okay.
cool.
Oh, cool. Okay. What's
Um,
are you is music like encouraged in school in Germany? Like is it quite a big subject or is it just a kind of a thing that you can choose to do?
I went to an American school actually.
Okay.
Um, but I did like band as well
Mhm.
and choir. So I encouraged myself
Yep.
to go into um the music industry, I guess you could
Nice.
say. But yeah, after that I kind of just did musicals in Bournemouth as well when I studied
Oh, cool.
in uni.
Yep.
And after uni, I was like, you know what? I really want to start developing my sound now.
Mm.
I think I'm ready for it. I'm old enough now. And yeah, since then, I've just been doing music, really focusing on that.
Yeah, working away at it. And how would you describe that sound that's developing?
Well, right. I would go more for singer songwriter
Hmm.
because my songs they can be so many different genres. It just depends on how you rearrange it. So my sound is more singer songwriter, I would say, right
Hmm.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any new things that you're sort of exploring a little bit, new genres or?
Synth wave
Hmm.
is what I like. I when I hear synth, I just so
Yeah,
I really want to
in love
go
with the
more into
synth.
that. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
absolutely. Yeah, I think it's just been yeah, it's so in within pop at the moment and everywhere and like but I mean it's kind of always been there really and like just such a great sound and way to just make sounds from scratch as well. I think is really cool. Um,
Yeah,
with all the synth stuff. Yeah,
the
amazing.
80s
Yeah,
80s sound really.
the 80s. And is that so? Is that an inspiration for you, kind of music wise?
Definitely. I don't know why. I
Mm.
I don't know why, but I just love the 80s sound.
Hmm. Yeah, I know there's something about it, isn't it, as well? I think for me, it's always that like almost like the mixture of kind of like happy, sad that is kind of like danceable, but like melancholy. I think there's
Yeah,
something about that, and
exactly.
I just love.
Yeah, it's like a mix of, the lyrics might be sad, but then the instrumental piece is like really upbeat. So you kind of like, okay, dance your pain away, I guess.
Yep, that's pain away. That's the way to do it. Great. And the music that you've been releasing recently. Have you only released a couple of songs? Is that right? So I'm aware of obviously your most recent one, which we're going to play in the show, and then the one before that, which we also played in the show. So
Yeah,
very
thank
nice
you.
to have double whammy. um, so yeah, is that like is this quite new in terms of you releasing stuff in this way, or have you been doing that for a while?
No, it's really new. I just released it with I Miss You first. And
Yeah,
then after that, I
great
was
track.
like, okay,
Mhm.
thank you. And and then Simply Irreplaceable, which was this year. So I'm really just trying to release new music. Basically, I'm getting a third single. Um,
Cool. Ooh,
and
exciting. Where what stage is
so,
it? What stage is that single at? Is it
oh,
in
it's
ready?
not even. I haven't even found a producer for it, so we're
Okay.
just just the
Yeah.
demo version is there. But I really hope I can find a producer at the end of this month for it.
Mm. And have you worked in with different producers then for the last two singles, or?
Yeah, I worked. It's this company called the Online Recording Studio,
Okay.
and I basically they find a producer for me. I pay for it.
Mhm.
It's a work for hire kind of situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just work with a producer. Then I have worked with two different ones on the two different songs.
Hmm.
So
Cool. Great. Um, yeah, it's like it's interesting that kind of that process of it as well. I guess for people who are maybe not musicians listening or watching, that sort of creating those demos is like your first bit of like creating the songs, but then the finding a producer and like taking it to that next stage is such a whole other thing.
yeah,
You know, it can
exactly.
really like really change the song from like what the demo might have been. Did you find that were your original demos quite similar to what the end result was, or?
The For I Miss You, I wanted a completely different new instrumental track for that
Mm.
one. And it did change when it came to the the vocals, which is good. I like it when it changes, honestly. And then for the second one, I kept it really close to the demo track because I have this thing where I like something and then after a month I don't like it anymore. And it took me like 5 years to figure this demo track out for Simply Irreplaceable. And I was like, we need to keep the melody, we need to keep the drum bit and the piano similar to the demo track, or
Mhm.
else I won't like it anymore after a month. So so
So
yeah.
it's been a process of changing. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
So like 5 years you've had a version of that song sort of swimming around.
I have like 30 different versions for that song.
Oh wow. Would you ever release any of those different versions? Is that something possible?
No.
They're just for you.
Because they all sucked.
I
That's
bet they
why.
did.
So no. But I am looking into doing a remix version of it, and it's gonna go into more of a synth pop direction. So I'm excited for that.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, that's great. And yeah, I love that. Like the remix kind of process is like really new to me, like only within the last year that I've had a remix, and then I'm planning some other remixes that are happening in the
Mhm.
pipeline, which is really exciting. But um it's so fun to like give your song to someone and then just have their musical brain like pull it apart and like totally
Yeah,
turn it into something like that you couldn't have imagined yourself.
exactly.
Yeah, it's like it's really fun. It's like opening like a Christmas present when you get to hear it for the first time.
That was so pretty.
Yeah, like oh my goodness, like what is this? And it's so weird like listening to it because it's like it's your song, but like not your song. It's like sort of you're singing this sort of different version of it. And it's a
Yeah,
strange but wonderful experience, I think.
exactly. It's fascinating how one song can sound so different.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really cool. Well, very exciting to hear about possible remixes. But whilst we're on the topic, let's talk a little bit about your latest song. So, Simply Irreplaceable, you released last month, or
No,
was that before
yeah,
that? Yeah,
January. Yeah, yeah.
in
We're in
January. Yeah,
February.
yeah. I know. I
Yeah,
mean, who knows? It's quite hard to keep track. We're somewhere in 2021.
yeah, exactly.
Something's happening. Um, yeah, I mean, it's yeah, really, yeah, gorgeous track. It like in the best way possible. It gives me like really like 90s kind of vibes a little bit as well. I don't
Oh,
like
really?
90s kind of
I'm
pop.
quite
Yeah,
interested. I
yeah,
like it when people give me feedback on and they say what it sounds like.
yeah. No, it
So
gives me
thank
that.
you.
And yeah, and I'd written down, and I hope this is like still what I thought, but like, do you know the song "Kiss the Rain" by Billy Myers? Do you remember that song from?
No, but I'll check it out. I'll check
Yeah.
it out.
So there's this like hit at some point in the 90s that I just remember, and like something about your song like gives me a little bit like they're probably quite different like songs, but there's something about it that gives me that. So you could
Okay.
you can check it out and get back to me and tell me if that's good or bad.
I will. I'll get back to you. That's
uh,
interesting.
yeah, but yeah. So tell me a little bit about it. Where did it come from? What's
Yeah.
it about?
I mean, this song is a mixture of having self-love and inspiration for yourself, and basically encouraging yourself to keep going
Hmm.
and to never give up on whatever you want, plus romantic love. So it's basically pursuing somebody that I may or may not have a chance with, but might as well go on ahead and try it
Yeah.
and see what happens. So yeah, but I think right now, like that's how I wrote it back in 2015.
Hmm.
But now I think it's more self-love though. It's
Okay.
more about believing in yourself, basically giving you that encouragement to do so.
Mm.
So yeah,
Yeah, great. Yeah. And like, oh, important messages. There's always like different layers of messages within songs as well. I think that it's kind of, I know, I don't know if you find this, but when you have released a song, it's like interesting to get that feedback on what people think the song is about, which might actually be different to what
mm,
you end up writing it about in the first place.
exactly. Like some people were pointing out that it was more of a self-love
Hmm.
anthem than romantic, and I was like,
Okay. Yeah.
okay, yeah, why not? So that's what
Why
I'm
not?
going with, to be honest.
That's it. Yeah. And I go, you know, and like music, I guess, is so personal how people experience it and what they take from it and what they might attach it to as well. That, you know, I guess it kind of can change. That's the kind of wonderful thing about it as well, I guess.
Definitely.
Mm.
I find it's just so interesting how people have these different perspectives on one song. I have my story,
Mm.
and somebody else might have something else, something different.
Yeah.
And I like it when people share that with me.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I know it's yeah, that's really nice. Those moments of share, like finding out what people think. And,
Yeah.
do you write from like quite personal experiences? Is that where you kind of base your songwriting from, or?
So far, that's the only thing I can do.
Hmm.
I mean, I consider myself a songwriter,
Yeah.
but then I try to write a song just out of the blue, and I'm like, ah, I can't
Right.
get nothing here. It's not working. I'm empty. So I have to feel something.
Hmm. Yeah, that's the starting point.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. And like so, obviously within this kind of show, and like it's been amazing to just chat to so many queer artists, and like
Yeah, so I've
um,
seen some.
yeah, yeah. Thank you. I saw you looking at the videos. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's really and like I don't think I've actually really spoken about this much, but like in terms of embracing that kind of like queer identity, how important is that in your writing, or is it important? It might not be at all, but how does that
Yeah.
influence what you do?
It depends on the song, I would say. Like for the most part, if it's about somebody specific,
Hmm.
then I will use a specific pronoun for it.
Yeah.
But so far it's more you.
Hmm.
Um and yeah, it just depends on the song really. I'm not really shy about it. I'll sing it if I have to. Like I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah. And that's great, isn't it? And like I feel that that's I don't know. It seems like that's just becoming more and more just the thing, you know, without people having to
Exactly,
consider
yeah.
it too much, which is great. Um, yeah, and I like yeah, I don't think I've released any songs where I might like use like he in them, but I think it's more where I think yeah, I'm probably more not that I wouldn't, but I think it's more just in
Mm,
songwriting. I'm usually talking about a
yeah,
you or more like other concepts as opposed to directly
exactly, yeah.
like about one person. But you never
Mm,
know. Maybe that'll happen in the future.
maybe. Why not?
Why not? Um, no, that's really cool, and yeah, really great track. Pleasure to be playing it on the show.
Thank you.
Um, so yeah, so you run a studio as well. So is that tell me a little bit about yeah what that kind of involves and how that all comes together.
Yeah, that happened after uni. I was so done with university after the last 2 years. I'm like, I need to get out of here. I just want to do music.
Did you
And
do music at uni, or was it?
no, I didn't. I did film production.
Ah,
Like
okay.
I wanted, that's what I was studying because I wanted to get into it. It was another dream of mine. But then after the first 2 years, I was like, you know what, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. So it was pretty much a waste of my time. But I did study sound designs, which connects with
Okay. Yeah.
music in a way.
Useful.
And over time, I just read a lot about the music industry, and I came to the conclusion that my music alone isn't going to get me that far when it comes to making an income.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, you need to look into building a business in music. Then why
Mm.
not? So I just bought like all this music gear, and eventually I realized it wasn't intentional, but I realized, oh, this is actually a studio. And I ended up creating a logo for it, naming it, and I was like, this is going to be a legit studio one day. Not, I can't invest right now. I can only do so much, but one day it's going to be big. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
You heard it here. No,
We'll
that's
see.
yeah. Oh, it definitely will. Definitely will. Oh, I think
Yeah, I've
absolutely.
got big
Like,
plans.
great. That's really great to hear, and I think that's totally the right way to think about it because you have, yeah, we can't unfortunately rely on streaming money and any other money that comes from music, unfortunately.
Mhm.
So yeah, there's got to be other ways to get that income as well, and if you can do that, make it still music related, even better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do you work elsewhere as well? That
Yeah, I
is
have
a
a
side
full-time
hustle.
job. Yeah.
What do you, I mean, you don't have to
To
talk about it. What do you do?
I work in a restaurant. I just do, salads. So
Yeah.
if you need a good salad, I'll shape it
Okay.
real nice for you.
Listen,
And
well, when we can travel again, we're all gonna come.
come to my restaurant. Yeah,
Yeah, come
exactly.
to Big Town.
And yeah, I just do that, and I've been there for 6 years now.
Cool.
And I use that money to invest in my music, plain and simple.
Yeah.
Um, because you need money to achieve your dreams.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And it's not doesn't come cheap. lot of
No, it's
lot of
not.
both time wise and money wise. It takes a lot of both.
Exactly.
So would you with the studio do so I assume then so you record like your own stuff that you then send to a producer. So is the
Yeah,
plan that
exactly. Yeah.
you'd get other people in to record them using the
No,
studio or
I do what I can. I can only do demo tracks right now. I wouldn't
Mhm.
really consider myself a producer, but
Yeah.
I record the vocals in my studio. And yeah, I pretty much just do it helps me. A demo track helps me explain what I'm looking for because I
Right.
can't explain it with words, so I have to show it.
Yeah.
So I really have to challenge myself doing that. So yeah,
Yeah, no,
it's a good
totally.
way.
Yeah, it's a really good point because yeah, like trying to explain what sound you're after is really difficult.
Mhm.
Even if you don't
Yeah,
totally capture it in the demo, I guess it's a better way
yeah,
than trying to explain. This is what I
yeah,
said.
exactly. I'm so bad at explaining, and I've learned that as well. When I was at uni working with other musicians, they were asking me what how my music sounds like, and I was like, I can't explain. I can't. I had no words for it. I was like, I suck. So eventually I was like, you need to start learning how to produce yourself, like at least a demo track, and record stuff yourself and do things as much as possible. But everything is off beat or off to out of tune. So that's why I would rather um, work with a producer so that they can bring it all together and make it really sound better quality, basically.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And that's great. And that's really good when you can find a producer that you can collaborate well with and kind of
Yeah,
can bring out that sound, the sound that you're looking for.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, no, not easy. But hey, all good. And so have you been so as well as recording, have you I think you have. You've done a couple of like live performances, am I right? Online.
Yeah, I
Playing.
have. Yeah.
How's that been going?
Yeah, it's been going good. I mean, I've done a band contest. That was a disaster,
Okay.
but whatever.
Why? What happened?
Oh gosh, what happened? I mean, everything happened. Like I was trying to figure out how to do all this myself because I this is the first time where I brought so much more instruments on stage and it was just myself. So I had
Okay.
to set everything up myself and nobody has that kind of time. And the crowd was really loud. I couldn't hear myself. I was like, you know what? I feel disrespected. I'm not playing anymore. I just stopped.
All right.
So I was like, no, it's a contest. If you're not going to listen to me, then why am I
Yeah.
here?
Yeah. Yeah, I would imagine if it was a contest, people would be listening, but
Yeah, but they
apparently
didn't.
not.
So I was like, okay,
Oh, that's
I'm
the
out.
worst. I mean, I really miss live music, but also I do not miss performing in a space where like nobody is listening and like you're like, what am I doing here? It's like really, it's tough. Like it's not fun. Like, you've spent so much time like preparing and, you know, all the stuff that goes into that. And then, yeah. So, yeah, there is live music that I miss, but there's also live music that I do not miss.
Exactly, right? I don't miss performing, but I know I have to do it. So I'm more of an introvert. But open mic nights are pretty nice though.
What's the music scene kind of in your areas? Are there like open mic nights and stuff, or
Yeah,
what's
there's
that?
quite a few. I've done one in Amberg, and there's a band. They invited me to open up for them as well, so
Oh,
that was
cool.
pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, it's not too big, but it's there. I just have to find it and
Hmm.
do it.
What do you play as well then? Do you on the keys, guitar?
After that performance, I'm just sticking to vocals and guitar. No more piano, no more drum set. Not
Oh,
drum set, but it was a what was it? It was a drum machine or something
drum
like
machine.
that.
Oh wow,
I was like, I'm done.
you had it all going on.
I was trying to do everything myself. It's like ridiculous. Just it was an experimentation for me, so
Right?
might
You've
as well
learned from.
exactly. Might as
What?
well fail now than once I'm a bit bigger.
Well, there you go. That's it. Make this was it. We all learn from those mistakes as we go on. Usually, like, okay, well, I'm never doing that again. Don't
Yeah,
worry about.
just vocals and guitar now.
Hey, great. And what about like broadcasting like over the internet in terms of like live performance stuff? Is that something you have been doing, looking into doing more of, or so avoiding those audience members that are not listening? You can just do it to the laptop.
Yeah, exactly. Posting on YouTube and TikTok and
Yeah.
Instagram. But I am really looking interested in Twitch.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
see Jay Gregory doing it, and he's
Yeah.
amazing at it. And
Yeah.
I see the
Absolutely.
community, and I'm like, you know what? He's inspiring me so much to get into it.
That's really cool.
So yeah, I really want to get into that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it seems like a really interesting thing to look into, and yeah, possibilities for some great stuff, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. Um, and what so kind of plans for the rest of the year then? So you've got other single in the works potentially. Do you have like a timeline of when things are going to come out, or is that
I don't. I try not to, say when and then it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So all I'm gonna say is the third single is I'm planning on releasing a third single plus remixes from
Yeah.
all the songs that I've already released, plus acoustic versions of those songs.
Nice.
And then 1 or 2 EPs.
Cool. Okay, well that's yeah. There's a few things to get on with. Yeah, that's
I just don't know if the EPs will be released this year or not, because it's
sure.
gonna cost a bit more than one single, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
yeah. Well, that's good. Good plans for a year or a couple of years. That's cool.
Yeah, and an album is gonna, but that's not until like later
Okay.
on. So
Mm, great. Oh yeah, definitely. I think albums are great. So even though as like they're not as popular as they used to be, I think albums are awesome. I
Aww.
definitely, I definitely want to do one at some point.
Yeah, you should tell. You got an EP already, right?
Got an EP already, so yeah, I've got that in the bag, which is cool. Um,
Yes.
so yeah, now it's like, okay, what next? But yeah, definitely a full album at some point. I would love. But
And your new song next week, right?
that's right. So on the show that you're on, which we'll be talking on, might right
Yeah.
now perhaps, or on YouTube or wherever wherever we currently are. Um, so yes, I'm doing an acoustic version of one of my songs, Sunrise, which I released last year, so
Hmm.
summer last year, I think. So yeah, so basically, this is a bit of an experiment for me actually as well. I was just like, I did want to try and release something acoustic, but so this is very much like it's a live performance
Hmm.
that I did in my parents' garden in Scotland in the summer, and I was just like, I wonder if I can take the audio from that, and like it's really kind of like rough and raw and ready in that it was like literally me outside playing my guitar and singing, and it was a video that I
Awesome.
created. But I was like, I wonder if I can just rip it off and then see if I can like do a little adjusting. My production skills are terrible. I don't have any. But I was like, okay, basically my main problem is that I'm quite impatient with technology. If it doesn't work or doesn't do what I think it should do straight away, I'm like, I can't do it.
Yes.
So I just yeah, that's my main problem. So I managed to like fiddle about with it and basically sort of created some stuff on it, which was very much a happy accident. And yeah, so it's an experiment, but I'm kind of like, well, put it out in the world, see what happens. If people
We'll
think it's
see.
terrible, like like we've been saying, I'll be like, okay, well, I won't do that again.
Exactly.
Clearly, I need to work with a producer. That's fine. But if people like it, I'm like, okay, well, maybe this, it's like I've already released the song, so like this is just like a different
Yeah,
uh, version of it.
definitely. I'm excited to hear it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I kind of like I knew it was coming off, so I put it in the system. But then I was like, oh, this week. Like, okay, I need to tell people this is happening. Okay, quick, figure it out. So I don't know. My brain is just like it's like full on lockdown brain at the moment. I just like
There's so much to think about, right?
yeah, just never know what's going on. But
Mm.
but hey, we will get there. It's all good. Um, so just a couple more questions on you. So you
Yeah,
were talking. So big plans for the future, then obviously sort of music wise.
definitely.
Where do you kind of see it all heading? What's the kind of any dream goals with that or
Well, I hope that my studio will be up and running and I can start paying people to work for me.
yeah.
And we can start, making films and TV shows and
Mm,
music. I also have like um, an independent label. I can only invest in myself.
yeah,
I'm the guinea pig, but
great.
hopefully that will kick off where I can invest in other
Oh yeah,
musicians as well, because and make it fair as well when it comes to the contract,
yeah.
because these contracts are just ridiculous, and I do want to make that change in the music industry, be that
Mm.
change.
Oh, it's amazing.
So that's my goal.
That's it. Like
Yeah.
I think, and I've this kind of conversation has come up a couple of times with people I've spoken to about like when the thing that you want doesn't exist, you end up kind of just creating it yourself.
Yeah.
Um, which is, I guess, kind of like where this ended up coming from anyway. In the first place, I was just like, I was like, well, maybe I could interview people and chat to people. Why not?
See, that's exactly what you're doing. You have
Yeah,
your own radio station as well. I
yeah. It's
mean,
like it's sometimes, yeah, you just give it a go and you kind of
awesome.
it can happen. Well, that's
Yeah.
cool. So label and recording studio, future
Hmm.
future versions
Yeah,
to watch out
exactly.
for. Great. Well, thank you so much for coming to chat to me. I really,
Thank you
really
for
appreciate it.
inviting me and
Oh,
for the opportunity and everything that
absolute
you've
pleasure.
been doing for me.
Oh no,
So
absolute pleasure. It's been great to, yeah, it's great to support your music in this last little while, and I can't wait to hear next singles and remixes as well. Very exciting.
I
So,
can't wait to hear your stuff as well.
thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's all good. So much.
Exciting times.
Yeah, so much music every week. There's just loads of stuff coming out.
Yeah,
Like, I can't really
so
keep up.
much.
It's great.
Exactly right. There's so much.
It's a good problem to have, but it's like, oh, well, I've missed this one. I've missed this one, but this one.
Right? Yeah.
No,
So
lots of
crazy.
talented, creative people around, which is very cool.
Mm, yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you very much. Keep
Thank
warm
you.
in
You
-4.
too.
Hopefully,
Stay healthy.
yeah, stay healthy, and hopefully spring is around the corner with some better times.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. All right, take care.
Ciao.
Bye.